All right, so get ready because today we're diving into something pretty big happening in the Drupal world.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I'm not talking about, yet another debate about the right way to structure your configuration files, haha.
Right.
This is about making Drupal itself, like, fundamentally easier for everyone.
Yeah.
And you might remember all the buzz at DrupalCon Portland
Oh, yeah.
when Dries Bytart announced Drupal CMS, a totally brand new release scheduled to drop by year's end.
Definitely exciting. Yeah, this is a real signal, I think, in terms of how Drupal wants to be perceived.
Okay.
Especially for people who might have found it a bit overwhelming before.
So for anyone who hasn't been, like, glued to their RSS feeds these past few months,
Right.
what's the quick and dirty on Drupal CMS?
Yeah. So essentially what we're talking about is making a super clear distinction. Okay.
Between what we call Drupal core,
Right.
which is, as you know, this incredibly powerful framework that developers use to build, these amazing custom sites,
Yeah.
and then an out-of-the-box, ready-to-go content management system.
Right.
That's really perfect for people who want something powerful but don't necessarily want to get their hands dirty with the code.
So Drupal core is like your raw lumber and your power tools.
Yeah.
You can build anything you can imagine. The sky's the limit. But Drupal CMS
Right.
is more like, I don't know, walking into a beautifully designed, like, prefab home,
Yes.
You can still customize it, but all the hard work is done.
Exactly. And that's something that came out really strongly in the user testing that Dries talked about.
The name Drupal CMS just clicked with people, both people familiar with Drupal and newcomers.
Yeah.
It instantly tells you what it is and who it's for.
Well, yeah. I mean, why not lead with that clarity?
Right.
Especially when there are so many other platforms out there that are shouting about how easy they are.
Yeah, and it's a direct response to that landscape, right? So no-code and low-code solutions.
Totally.
They've become super popular, and for good reason.
Yeah.
But I think what Drupal offers, and has always offered, is that unique blend of power and flexibility.
For sure.
And they needed a way to communicate that clearly to folks who might have otherwise gone for a simpler but ultimately less capable option.
Yeah. It almost feels like Drupal is, like, finally embracing its potential
Yeah.
as a platform that can, like, compete on ease of use without having to sacrifice. What makes it so powerful for developers? Was this, like, a big surprise for you, or did you kind of see this coming?
Drupal's always been on this path of evolution.
Okay.
Even if it wasn't always obvious from the outside looking in. I mean, I think we saw a taste of it with Drupal 8 and the move to Symfony components.
Yeah.
Which, let's be honest, was a huge modernization project, but,
Absolutely.
presented a little bit of a learning curve for some.
But sure.
But with Drupal CMS, it's about taking those learnings
Okay.
and applying them not just to the code itself, but to the entire user experience.
Yeah.
This is about making Drupal more approachable for everyone, like right out of the gate.
I like it. And this is more than just, like, putting, a user-friendly face on some complex code.
Right.
It sounds like there are, like, some really fundamental changes happening under the hood as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Oh.
So Drupal CMS is really being driven by a larger initiative called Drupal Starshot,
Okay.
which is really all about making Drupal, as we've been saying, more user-friendly without losing any of that power.
So for those of us who missed the memo on Starshot, what is that all about?
Yeah, so Starshot, in a nutshell,
Okay.
it brings together a whole bunch of really cool features and improvements
Okay.
that are designed to make Drupal easier to use right out of the box.
Yeah.
We're talking things like this new experience builder,
Okay.
XB for short.
Right.
And that lets you, like, visually create page layouts and content structures
All right. Yeah.
without needing to write a single line of code.
I remember when I first started dabbling in Drupal, like, just trying to figure out how to move a block from one region to another.
Oh, yeah.
Felt like a puzzle designed by, like, a sphinx or something.
Uh-huh. Exactly. And that's exactly what they're trying to solve with Starshot.
Okay.
There's also these pre-built site recipes, which are basically like blueprints for common types of websites.
Got it.
You need an e-commerce site, boom. There's a recipe for that.
Oh, cool.
Need a blog? Got it. There's a recipe for that.
Nice.
And the best part is that these recipes come with all the modules and configurations you need already baked in.
So it's like Drupal is finally catching up with the whole, like, app store mentality.
Yeah.
Where it's easy to find and install, like, these pre-built solutions.
Precisely. but without losing that core Drupal philosophy of customization and flexibility, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, they've got the automatic updates.
Right.
So even maintaining your Drupal site becomes a total breeze.
Okay, so all of this is making a lot of sense, but I have to ask,
Yeah.
why not just call it Starshot then?
Uh-huh.
Like, it sounds cool, it sounds kind of futuristic.
It's a fair point.
Yeah.
But remember what we were talking about earlier about clarity?
Okay.
So as catchy as, Starshot is,
Yeah.
it doesn't actually really tell you what the product does.
That's true.
Drupal CMS, on the other hand,
Yeah.
leverages the existing, strength and the recognition of the Drupal name
Right.
while also instantly communicating what the product's purpose is.
You hear Drupal CMS, you're like, okay, I'm in the realm of content management.
I don't need, a whole explanation. I get it.
Exactly. And think about it from like a newcomer's perspective, right?
Yeah. Okay.
If you're just starting to explore different CMS options.
Yeah.
And you see Drupal Starshot next to WordPress or
Yeah.
Squarespace.
Yeah.
It's not immediately obvious what you're getting.
That's true. You might not even realize it's a content management system at all.
Right.
Yeah.
And then let's not forget about the practical side of things.
Okay.
Drupal CMS instantly. It taps into all that existing SEO power that Drupal has.
Right.
It makes it easier for people to find it when they're looking for it.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
So we've talked a lot about what Drupal CMS is,
Right.
why it exists, all that good stuff.
But I kind of want to bring it back to our listeners for a second.
Sure.
What does this actually mean for them, regardless of whether they're, seasoned Drupal veterans or just starting their journey?
Right.
So I feel like this is one of those shifts that has the potential to really shake things up.
Yeah.
Not only just for Drupal as a platform, but for everyone who uses it.
Right.
What kind of impact are you seeing with someone who's brand new to Drupal, who's never seen it before?
Yeah, for newcomers, I think Drupal CMS is a huge breath of fresh air because it really is saying, hey, look, you don't need to be a coding guru to build something awesome with Drupal.
Yeah.
Right? The learning curve just suddenly becomes a lot less steep.
Okay.
When you have things like Experience Builder, pre-built site recipes, all that good stuff.
Right.
They can, jump right in and start creating without getting bogged down by,
Right.
the technical complexities that Drupal has kind of, been known for in the past.
It's like opening a door that was previously only slightly ajar.
Exactly.
And now it's like, come on in.
Right.
So what about the Drupal veterans, the ones who've, been around the block a few times?
Right.
What changes for them?
Yeah, I mean, the great thing is experienced Drupal users, they still have all the power.
Okay.
The flexibility that they're used to, with Drupal core at their fingertips.
Yeah.
But now they've got, these additional tools at their disposal that can really streamline their workflows.
Yeah.
Make their lives a little bit easier. Right.
Imagine, being able to spin up this complex site structure in a matter of minutes using a recipe.
Okay.
And then just hand it off to a client for content entry without having to build custom admin interfaces and all that stuff.
Right. Even experienced users, appreciate a little efficiency boost every now and again.
Precisely.
For sure.
And let's not forget about, the potential impact this has for, the Drupal community as a whole, right?
Right.
A more accessible Drupal means a potentially, larger and more diverse community.
Yeah.
Which is only ever a good thing for open source.
Right. More minds, more ideas, more innovation.
Exactly.
I like it.
Yeah.
It feels like, Drupal CMS is just the tip of the iceberg here.
I think so.
Where else do you see this going?
Yeah.
What does the future hold for Drupal? I mean, we've already even seen people talking about the possibility of other, Drupal branded products.
Yeah.
Right. Each one catering to, a really specific need or a specific industry. Imagine, Drupal LMS for education, or you've got Drupal Commerce that's fine-tuned for online stores.
Wow.
This could be huge, right? It opens up a whole new world of possibilities for Drupal and really allows it to compete in markets where it might not have had such a strong foothold before.
It's like Drupal is going from this Swiss Army knife of a platform to a whole workshop full of specialized tools.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great analogy. And with with this renewed focus on user experience, I think, we're going to see Drupal attracting a whole new audience.
Okay.
Right. People who might have, previously shied away from it because they thought it was, too complicated or too developer-centric.
Yeah, this move to Drupal CMS really could be like a game changer.
I think it's got the potential, for sure.
Well, there you have it, folks. A deep dive on Drupal CMS, the Drupal Starshot Initiative, what it all means for the future of, this ever-evolving platform.
Right.
We've gone over the why, the what, the how.
We did it.
But now it's your turn to take this information and run with it.
That's right.
What would your Drupal-branded product be?
Ooh, good question.
Head over to our website, let us know.
Yeah, tell us.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep building, and keep that Drupal spirit alive.